What's up, Team Diesel? We are here today with Coach Max, and today's topic is going to be the toe band. As Coach Max gets set up on the toe band, all right, we're going to talk a little bit about what it is. So you see right now it's a band attached to a kettlebell. All right, what it is it's just basically we utilize it as a tool to help our athletes kind of feel their body more, and we like to say build some movement capacity, which is really a fancy way of saying move with control. All right. So the cool thing about today is we're going to pick a couple exercises, a squat and then a single leg valve slide hinge, that is just going to kind of illustrate how you could use the tool band. Because the biggest thing we'd like to show you is, hey, this is why we do it. Anyone who's trained at Diesel already knows what it is, because it usually makes the exercise a little more difficult. Because again, it's going to force you to move correctly from the right joints, from the right ability. It's going to force you to, it might make the exercise harder, but what it's doing is really keeping those guardrails. It's really kind of teaching us, without a coach there, to be able to be like, hey, I remember I got to keep that down. If not, my hip comes out. So today, think of this as something that you could add to your routine. You could try it. If you get out of your shoes, you could really try it really easily, and hopefully it makes everything more, much more effective. And that's really the big thing here, is we're trying to create, great training programs and a great environment, but we're also trying to make sure that we're moving the body correctly and creating as much tension and force as we can, because we know that's how you get better. So here we go. Max is ready to rock. All right, so he's going to step into a squat pattern. So Max is going to show you how he kind of gets that set up. You can see the squat pattern, we're going to use two legs. So obviously we're going to have the band spread out kind of uniquely here. And you see there's a pad of your foot here, and then he's going to notch it around both toes there. Or kind of whatever he wants. You can go with the big toe, either one. But again, really the big part about it is, why are we doing it? We're doing it to keep this part of your foot down. So you can actually see Max has a little bit of a sway out, which we don't, it just shows us he's kind of restricted that way. Let's push your foot more inward. Ooh, there you go. And then he gets that nice firm arch. So you can see in that position of his foot, go back to your normal position where it's kind of out. All right, and then go back with it's more tension. So you see when he drives more force down, he's got a really good sense of drive up the chain. He's got good pressure up, he's got good internal drive from the internal rotators, and then he's got his external rotation driven from the back heel and the little toe. So it's kind of like a big tripod. Again, how does this happen? I think if you look at it, today I'm wearing these flat sole shoes, but I think if you got those really nice shoes that have a lot of those cuffy soles, I think one way that it happens is it kind of allows our foot to be kind of lazy, and we kind of start to sway here. So I think sometimes just getting out of your shoe and seeing like Max just overemphasize that on the left side. Not even that far, don't move your hips, just let your ankle do this. All right, you can see like just doing that, that's not great. So like excessive mobility or excessive range out there, well, it's gonna restrict our ability to be strong here. So you can see how it's just like a balancing act. So again, the toe band is utilized to get our internal rotators, our inner part of our thighs, our inner foot kind of stronger and turned on, which is then going to kind of help the whole body up the chain, create more tension, more force, and that creates a better performance. So that's kind of a long-winded way of thinking the toe band, but I'll mark through a couple more cues as he's go through a few squat patterns. So here you go, Max. I'll set that up. So as we go through here, we'll be able to pinpoint some of the areas of why the toe band's good, and then how you might use it. So Max, I'll help you out. We won't go that low today. So just give me a 3-second eccentric. His feet are going to be shoulder width. Today we'll go feet straight ahead just to challenge his internal rotation. He's going to challenge 3, 2, 1, pause, touch, and then he's going to come up, squeeze, ride. Now Max, you got a little more there because, there you go. You can see on both these feet, hey Max, you're kind of stuck here. So what do we need to do? Use it, drive that toe band, drive that, and good. Now look what happens. Now he's a little more stable up the chain. Let's see it this time. All right, it gives him more control, more tension. Touch, drive, come on up. Exhale, squeeze, good. Push through here, good. And drive pressure, and again, what do you feel? Do you feel like you feel more when you have, you're only using the outside edge of your foot, or when you're using the whole foot?
Really the inside, I feel control whenever I can push down with that part of my foot.
So he feels more control, so you can tell like more control, that's great because everyone wants control, but how do you get it? Put yourself in the position where you can push into the ground. It's going to provide force up the chain. That's feedback, that's light. Ooh, I can feel my ground, I can feel my hips. When you can feel your hips and you can move, that's really how you become really rhythmic. You can start to move with ease. So let's do one more, Max, but you're going to let's get a little uncomfortable and let's just let that left foot come up a little bit. A little more, maybe until that band comes off, but that's what will happen, all right? And relax. So that's what's gonna happen if you don't keep good pressure there. Max was doing a good job of keeping pressure there, but when you don't, you're gonna have feedback. Boom, you didn't do it? Well, good, then you have to unfortunately take the time to put the toe band. Nobody likes doing it, but again, it's your own coach when you don't have one there. So that's a squat pattern, dude. Let's go into a hinge pattern just to show another way in which you can do it, because there's a million ways you can do it. I think really it's just understanding of what we're trying to accomplish. So for a lot of athletes, or for anyone, I think a hinge pattern, which is your ability to basically, if you look at it, here's a squat, my knees can come forward. You know, on a hinge pattern, I'm gonna keep my knee over my ankle, and I'm gonna really force my core to stabilize my spine and for my hips to move, all right? That's challenging because we get a little restricted here, and then we can't move here, and then this doesn't stabilize. So, very important. Well, for our rotational athletes, the hinge is everything. It could be the ability, you know, our golfers, it's that backswing. Our pitchers, it's that ability to drive the inside edge of the foot down and keep it there. So it becomes a huge performance tool. So, right side dominant, we're gonna focus on the right side. He's gonna push the knee over the top of the ankle. Get more, come on now. No, don't turn your hips, just push in, sir. Yes, sir, that's a new move for you, because what did it do? It pushed it on his inside edge. So that's a good thing. If you look back here, that was a good thing we just learned out of nowhere. That's lateral sway. Nobody wants this. This is how you get rotation in this. So all Max did there was push in, but then really he pushed in the inside edge, and that probably lit up a few things, because you could tell his hip was like, whoa. All right, you feel a little cramp or something?
Feels activated.
Yeah, it's activated, it's alive, but that's the cool thing that we just saw there. So we got the toe band here. Again, the toe band's not just around the toe, it's around that whole big ball of your foot here. Again, and then he's got that good awareness there. This little exercise, the single leg valve slide hinge, great exercise to learn the hinge and kind of see where we're at. So I'm gonna have Max just turn internally slightly this way. That's just gonna pivot that hip in, because a lot of times we're externally driven. So we're gonna drive internal pressure. That's gonna keep that inside edge of that foot driven down hard. And then all Max is gonna do is drive hard pressure into this toe, because that's gonna keep everything connected laterally, up diagonally. They call it contralateral forces. All right, drive pressure down here, and then we're just literally going to own it and control it, all right? Knee stays over the ankle, let's come on back, all right? This is a great way if you're traveling a lot, you're a rotational athlete, you're anyone, and you think that, hey, I need to wake up my hips, create that lateral sway is what creates a lot of back tightness, so this will keep it in, then come up, nice and controlled. And again, good thing you saw there though, you saw a slight outward. All right, so Max, try to drive in. When you go internal rotation, you gotta put more pressure, good. So when you see, as Max keeps going, you gotta watch how that's using it. But I'll kind of go on another tangent where like, you can see if you get so much excessive outside, well then it gets really hard to hinge correctly. You wanna do this when you go outside. All right, and if you see that, that's pretty troublesome. So just having that inside pressure of the foot, it's gonna create that almost guardrail for you to just keep the knee over the ankle and then let those hips drop back. Good, let's just do one more rep on the other side, Max, show them how to set it up. And then I think they've heard enough about the famous toe band. But I think you guys are seeing that there's a lot of ways that you can use it. You could really use it on any type of lunge. You can do anything where you're standing. Because again, I think modern era footwear, I think just the way that we kind of are formulated, when you sit a lot, you get externally flared, and then it kind of turns you this way. It's just the way in which we see a lot of people that could use a little bit more awareness, a little bit of movement capacity of that inner drive. Let's do one more. Last but not least, all right, and again, good pressure. Whoa, you got a little unstable, let it fall off. Good, and you can see, again, that's how that would happen. So again, if he falls off, that would show us that lateral sway of the hip, and then he loses the ability, when that falls off, you lose the ability to push into your heel, and then again, you lose your balance. So, hopefully that you got an understanding of kind of the tools that, you know, the toe band, the one of many tools that we kind of use here to kind of help our athletes, help our people, help our adults, just feel around so they can basically build the understanding of what their body can do and what it can't. But what you can't, you know, like a hamstring. Hamstrings and things aren't tight all the time. They just don't get used when you're sitting all the time. So a lot of times you just gotta wake them up. So I think in general, like understanding the body more so as like, oh, it's tight, it's weak, it's this, you just gotta wake it up, wakey, right, Max? Max had some cramps in his hips and things today, but this band itself, it's never gonna be the most fun thing to do to hook the band on. But again, it's gonna go a long way. And again, just a final piece, you know, he's barefoot. You could still do it in your shoes, but it's obviously more beneficial when you're barefoot because you can grab and feel on the ground. But again, if I wanted to, I could put it here and do it. But again, some of our footwear, like these DVO shoes are great. They're flatter, but some of the other shoes that we have are like you stand on it and see which way you turn it, you go. So I challenge you to do that. So I challenge you Again, if you can do barefoot, go barefoot all day. But if you can't, find some flat sole shoes and then do it, and you'll feel the ground more, and you'll get better stability and better performance. So give it a try. Let us know how it goes.